So what is your name and what is your profession?
My name's Russell Topal. I'm a sound designer.
And how long have you been sound designing for?
About 12 years.
And was this your first choice as a profession? Have you always had like a passion for for sound designing, or what was like your first career option like when you first started?
Well, I was always passionate about sound when I was a kid, but I didn't know that this was a job. So I just played music and was in bands, and then I went to college for music, and then there I found out that people do this, and then I chose that. Yeah.
And you attended a college in Boston, correct?
Yeah, I went to Berklee College of Music.
And was this like straight from high school, or did you transfer?
No, I transferred in. My parents didn't want me to go to music schools right away, so I went to a business school and hated it. And I did really poorly because I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
And then I practiced and transferred for my junior year. But the way that it worked, like they didn't really, you had to do everything over again. So it was like being a freshman again. But it was fine because I had a great time.
And like, did your parents, they just didn't like want you to like do music because they thought like you wouldn't be able to like succeed off of that? Or?
Yeah, they thought I would just be like a street performer in Santa Monica or something.
In LA or something.
Yeah. And
how was your environment like over there in Boston? Like how was like the East Coast? Is it different from over here in LA? Like the whole, because I know there's some like private schools here like for music and like film. Do you think there's a difference?
Yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, first of all, Boston's a college town. Like there's so many students that there's really not, I mean there is, but it's not nearly as big of a like professional environment for music and film and stuff. Obviously it exists, but LA is just the epicenter. So being a student there is really fun because there's so much to do as a young adult, and you're surrounded by your peers. So as competitive as it is, there's also a lot of camaraderie and support from your fellow students. So I felt that was really empowering. My personal favorite projects to work on are horror, but I do love Yellowstone. It's one of my favorite shows that I've worked on, and it's really a pleasure to be a part of the process. I've been on it since season 2, and season 5 is coming up. So it's been really cool to see that show grow. But in terms of films, Coda was really special because it was such a small production, and we had no idea that it would go on and receive as much success that it did. So it was really special to see a film like that from people that were so passionate about the project get all that success. Other than that, Fear Street was really fun.
Yeah, I've seen the first episode.
Yeah, that was a fun movie and franchise. Dr. Sleep was is a sequel to my favorite movie of all time.
Shiny.
Yeah, so that was really an honor to be a part of that one.
That's good.
Yeah, but then it's also fun to work on animation, and like Frozen was really cool. And my daughter, that's like her favorite movie. So that's.
And when it came to these were all like sound designing, or did you also like do like any like Foley edits or?
Yeah, it's kind of like there's no like real line anymore because budgets are smaller, crews are smaller. You kind of just do what needs to be done. I guess you start off with this. I mean, you start off with a specific task, but because everything's so fluid now. For Frozen, I did all the background, so like the wind and rivers and bugs and crickets and stuff like that. And because it's a musical, you don't really everything's super low. So, but then I had some extra time at the end, so I got asked to do a few other things. So it's just kind of like what is needed, and then if you can do more than what you're asked, then that just benefits everybody, and it makes you look good, and then you'll be asked to come back for the next one.
Okay.
Usually, you know. So.
And you edit this off of off ProTools, I believe.
Yeah, we all use ProTools.
Okay. And how was your experience with ProTools?
I mean, I use it every day, so pretty.
Was it self-taught, or did you take it from like a class?
We learned at Berklee, but they kind of just teach you the basics.
Okay.
And it's up to you to really dive in and get the most out of it that you can.
Mm-hmm. And did you get like a certificate or like?
Nah.
Okay.
No one really cares.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because my class had offered like a Pro Tools, specifically just to get like your certificate. But for me, I'm more of like an Adobe person.
Yeah. Well, they're two different. Like people don't really use Adobe for audio.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, and it's fine. But because of the sharing capabilities and how, you know, I'll work on something and I'll send my Pro Tools session off to somebody else, and then they'll send it off to somebody else, and then they'll send it off to mix. So it's because it's so easily compatible with other computers, and like since it's one program, everyone's sharing stuff. So that's become the industry standard, and it has been for I don't know, over 20 years.
Does that go for like all like the stuff you worked on? Like when you see like a scene, you like just picture sounds like, okay, like I could hear like this sound and this sound. Is that pretty much for like every time you work on a project?
Yeah, I mean, you want to feel like you're there.
You're there.
You know, especially in a scene like in a bar, or like if you're in like in Yellowstone, where most of the show takes place like in the Montana plains. You know, you want to feel you want to hear the wind, the air, the birds. Like, that's my goal, is to make the audience feel like you're there. And if I've done my job right, you don't know that I've done my job.
And then I know like during like the end of the movie where like they're playing like an actual like NBA arena, did you also like add like the crowd, or was that just like from the original audio? Oh, okay.
So we used a combination of the production crowd, but a lot of that audience in the movie was visual effects.
Okay.
So they didn't exist on set.
Oh,
Maybe
I see.
about like 20% of the people in the shot were actually there. So we used some of that, and then we built up the stadium with big arena crowds, and then obviously covered all the basketball stuff, and then there's Foley, so footsteps and cloth movements and like specifics and stuff.
All right.
Yeah. And then there's the design, which is all the hyperreal stuff and the surreal stuff, like low drones, and because there's a couple scenes where Adam Sandler is kind of having an internal struggle on what he wants to do, so we added some like low frequency like drones and pulsing, just kind of give more, make it a little bit more dramatic.
I see.
Yeah.
You've also been nominated for Emmys and won a Golden Reel. What is like the process like? Do you get like an email directly to you, or does like someone from like the head get like an email and then it just comes back to you?
Well, we don't know, and I mean, as we're working on stuff and Emmy season's coming, you know, my supervisor will be like, "Hey, I want to submit this episode, you know, to the Emmys," but we don't know until they announce them.
Okay.
So we find out with everybody else, and then so this time got an email from Netflix because it was a Netflix show, and they paid for our tickets, and they set it all up, and there's a Netflix after party, and yeah, so it was fun.
So have you attended like majority of like the shows you've been nominated for, or do you just like?
Yeah, we just went to the Emmys this past weekend.
Oh, okay. How was it?
It was fun. Yeah, I mean we didn't win, but you know, it's okay.
Where is it held at?
It's at the Microsoft Theater in downtown.
Oh, okay. How many like people does it fill up?
I mean, I would say like a couple thousand.
Is it like a first come first serve, or is it like specific seating?
No, we got a table with our team. Yeah, so they sat us all together with our teammates, and then they list off all the categories, and it's Emmys, and it's split up into 3 days.
Oh, okay.
So we just went for our day that our category was in, but even then it's like the show's like 3 hours long.
Was it spread up because of COVID, or it's just always been like that?
No, because if not, it would be like a 7-hour event, and
true.
people don't want to sit through all that.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, it's like 2 nights of creative arts, and then the prime time,
Mm-hmm.
which is this coming Sunday, which is like, best actor in a drama show, whatever, all that stuff. So, and that's televised, but our 2 nights are not.
No, what the heck?
I mean, people don't really want to see that,
Yeah.
There's so many categories, so it gets, even when we were there, we were like getting bored. Yeah.
And you won a golden reel, right?
Yeah, so that's a golden reel. Golden reel awards are just for sound editorial. We have like an organization called Motion Picture Sound Editors, which is optional. You don't have to join to work.
Does each individual get the award, or is it just handed to like the head of like the department, or?
No, we all get one. I have mine.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah. And the Emmys, everyone gets one. It's just the Oscars only. The supervisor.
Does it have like your name and everything, or is it just? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and what the project was. So I won for a movie called The Ultimate Playlist of Noise on Hulu.
Oh, is it the one where a guy he stops hearing sound, right? Or
yeah, so he like has a brain tumor and he needs to get surgery to remove it, but with the surgery he will no longer be able to hear. So he goes off on a road trip to record his favorite sounds before he can't. Before he goes deaf. And so that was a really fun project.
So were you a little bit nervous, or were you excited when you found out that you won? Yeah,
it was my first award win, so it was super cool to be recognized for that, and yeah, it was awesome. It did suck though. It was like during COVID, so we were at home.
So did they show
it was on Zoom.
It was on Zoom?
Yeah.
Dang, so you didn't get to go on stage and grab it? Oh, no. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, there was this, now that we're, COVID's not over, but it's manageable. Emmys were in person, but the Golden Reel Awards, it was 2020, so
it
was right when.
Did you have a watch party or just you?
It was just Gigi and I.
Yeah. Well, that's good though.
Yeah.
I'll end it with one last question.
Sure.
Would you have any advice that you would want to give to anyone who's starting out as sound or genuine industry, like any do's or don'ts you would want to tell that person?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not easy to get your foot in the door, or build up a good resume. But the most important thing is to just have a good attitude, because there are a lot of good editors out there and designers and stuff, but not everyone has a good attitude. So if you could set yourself apart from people who don't seem to care or think they're better, or just work hard and have a good attitude, and people will want to work with you, and also do the job that you're given, and if you want more than that, then make it it's your duty to work harder and push yourself to want to get better at something that is beyond your current role, so you can prove yourself that hey, I can do this too, and okay, we'll give you a shot, try this. And then if you do well in that and stay positive and have a good attitude, then that's what they'll have you do. And of course the things happen, and but that's just with any other job. That's gotta roll with it. So it's easy to get down on your luck, but just keep going, I guess.